guest, who wound Simon, Louis, Nicole on the X Factor Celebrity, was the drop kick them through to the live shows. I feel safer now.
You got that one.
I understand
with
what
the
the words are. Yeah.
But as England and Wales gear up for their World Cup semi-finals this weekend, ball rugby professionals Ben Foden, Levi Davis and Tom Evans scrum together for another try. Ben, Levi, Tom here, as well as their fellow England rugby player and a man who knows them inside out, Ugo. Ugo, we thought it'd be worth getting your input in this interview.
Are you tempted to join them?
Yeah, he's trying to.
I'm their manager now. But for these guys, I mean, Fodes is now like living his dream. He's an exceptional rugby player, but this is everything he'd want to do, and I'm sure that's probably the same for Ty as well.
Have you always wanted to be a pop star? Is that what it's all about?
I think
That's your nickname, wasn't it?
Yeah. My nickname was Pop Idol when I was like growing up through the academy. Yeah, a few times the boys made me stand up in front of them on buses and stuff and sing songs.
Wow.
I've had my fair share of heckling, ashtrays thrown at me and things like that, but now
Standard.
I've made it to the main stage.
And this is it. So, Tom, obviously, you've had the big experience of being in the spotlight, being on Strictly, doing all sorts of shows, and you were in a group as well as a youngster.
I was, yeah, many moons ago.
24/7 was the band?
24/7. No, it was a lot of fun, but this is a completely different experience, and doing it with these lads, like, get on so well and just have fun, and that's what it's all about, isn't it?
And so, Levi, this is all new for you, because you've got these two old boys with you.
Why would you go there?
But
Carrying them,
clearly you've got the moves and the talent, though.
Hang on, I'm just going to take this knife.
How did you feel when they suggested this, and how are you enjoying the experience?
Yeah, no, it was nowhere really for me. I got this email and my agent was like, yeah, they fancy seeing if you can sing and go down to London. I was like, this is never going to happen. Like, this isn't something that you believe is going to happen. And then, as soon as we sang for them, they liked us.
You're giggling on the end there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not surprised, really. I mean, I know Levi's talents. I know Tom's a massive performer, but with Ben, after you start, after you play for England first time, you win your debut cap, you go on the bus, you sing a song, and I remember mine was just like, it was woeful. I just sang Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It's pretty,
nice,
pretty cliche, and everyone heckles you. Tear into you. When Ben got up and sung, like, everyone was in tears because he was like incredible.
What did you sing?
I think I sang Sitting on the Dock of the Bay.
Sitting on the dock.
He rehearsed that more that week than he actually did.
It was a better performance than my first England performance.
Let's talk about Saturday night, though. So you are performing. Am I right?
Yeah, we're giving the people what they want.
So now, this is.
I've been told there's some kind of magic mic.
Have you watched Magic Mike?
Oh, she's watched Magic Mike.
I've been in Magic Mike.
You've been in? Well, you know
I've been in Magic Mike.
You need some tips.
Okay, well, what I say...
Tune in. You have to tune in to see.
Something goes wrong.
Yeah, something goes wrong then.
Tom's getting this top one.
So someone mucks up a harmony or something.
It just depends how well the audition is.
Another piece of clothing
Yeah, we have a code word.
Yeah, only Tom, though.
But you are still playing, Levi. You've still got a contract.
Yeah.
How are the club feeling about the? Because isn't there sort of matches happening this weekend?
Yeah, they've given me time off for this, and I can't thank them enough.
Amazing. And of course, Ben, we've not seen you since you got remarried.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I mean, quite a whirlwind as three men who've played international. Well, Levi, you're sort of
age group.
Yeah, age group wise, but you're still at the start of your career. You'll be there at some point, undoubtedly.
Yeah,
what do you think? I mean, Scotland aren't there, unfortunately. They're out, but for England and Wales still being in, what are their chances, do you reckon?
Yeah, speaking to Ugo earlier, I think England have a great chance, especially with the weather. If they get stuck into New Zealand early doors, I think it's definitely there for the taking. And I think Wales could turn South Africa over. I know, obviously.
Ugo wasn't so sure.
But I think, they've got a huge game in them, and they've been so consistent recently with their performances. So I'd love to see two home nations.
It would be amazing, wouldn't it? That'd be great.
Incredible.
Ben?
Yeah, same thing. I think that England are in a really good place at the moment.
I hope England get to the final, but New Zealand look world class.
Yeah.
And he's got the youth hopefulness as well.
No, the optimism.
The optimism of youth.
If either of the home nation side do eventually win the World Cup, and there is a World Cup party, we have your entertainment right here.
Yeah.
TriStar would be very happy.
Exactly.
Is that right, manager?
Yeah.
Quadstar.
With an extra
You're in.
4-star, not quite 5-star.
Can you sing?
After a few beers, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but not for public listen.
And can you strip?
I can strip.
Oh, yeah.
You did the stripping show. You did the full Monty.
It's the full Monty. It's for charity.
It's still the same thing. Well, look, gents, thank you so much for coming in. Best of luck with the live shows as well. It's going to be thoroughly entertaining watching you. And don't put up with too much, Levi. They're old boys, remember. They're going to drag you down.
Nice
You've still got so much ahead of you. As we said, you can watch all the Rugby World Cup action live and exclusive on ITV. New Zealand starts the coverage at 7:30.
Hello. My name is Levi Davis, and my life is in danger. This is a story about police corruption and government corruption. And also organised crime.
Have that power to come into your life, they're usually criminals, because that's why they're useful. Whistleblowers do not get looked after in the police in the United Kingdom. My friend was in danger of his life for trying to be a whistleblower. He was both whistleblowing about corruption and also racism, and his colleagues turned on him. He was bullied. The corrupt cops have a network of supporters, friends, and they will use and manipulate them to fight against the allegation. They will bully them. So there's a directed response by those corrupt cops. That there's also an institutional failure to admit it, because the police have a duty to maintain public confidence. So that means that they don't advertise the extent of the corruption, and they don't want to find out. They don't want the public to think that they're corrupt. It's one of the most energetic and hard-working cops, and he's gone up against organised crime, including transnational organised crime, in his work. But he'd never been in fear of his life until he started whistleblowing on corrupt cops. He had to go into witness protection from the corrupt cops in the Met. The last defence that the police can have against corruption is the witness protection. Where the police fear that corruption means that those people are not safe, then they are put into a witness protection programme, which means they are given a false name, they are moved to a different place. And it's a really brutal thing to have to do to someone. According to the rules of the system, you cannot have any contact forever with your friends, your family, your community, anyone you've ever known. And the reason that this horrible system exists is because of how insidious and ubiquitous police corruption is. But of course, even that system gets corrupted. I know someone who worked within the witness protection system. They told me that at least half of their team were actually corrupt and that nobody was safe at all. The database for the witness protection system is completely isolated from other computer systems. They're not connected at all. So theoretically, they are already bomb-proof. But of course, any system is only as fallible as the humans operating it. And gangsters don't corrupt computers, they corrupt cops. I myself looked after 5 protected witnesses. I was acutely aware of the fact that we'd been told that Greater Manchester Police couldn't be trusted in this regard. So that we took the view that we couldn't even necessarily trust the National Witness Protection system. And we very carefully managed our witnesses for a long time outside that system. The Met, or the Metropolitan Police, is the police of Greater London, so all of the wider city of London. The Met operates in a different way to every other police force in the UK. It has various centralised responsibilities that other police don't have. For example, they are in charge of terrorist investigations. They have the National Crime Agency in London as well, so they work closely with the National Crime Agency. And they have other central responsibilities as well.
I ask, no, I beg, that you share, but that you listen and try to understand what I am telling you. This all began in London. After the X Factor, I had many new friends and many old. It started when I was speaking with a friend, what I would now call an acquaintance. It's important for you to know that I'm an impersonable guy. I believe I am humble, and I will speak to anybody. I didn't used to have a guard up, but for reasons why I'm about to tell you, I have not been myself for a very long time. Years ago, I came off the Celebrity X Factor, and I met many new people, and one of which, an individual who I will not name, we began a relationship which formed, a friendship which was formed through music. Many times we had met, but on the last occasion, I was drugged and I was blackmailed. After this, I appealed to my club for help. I appealed to my agent for advice. I do not blame this on anybody.
It was called Operation Midnight Climax. They gave unwitting Americans doses of LSD, and it coupled the drugs with sex. They used this as a safe house, and they had the prostitutes go out, bring their johns back, and they would watch everything that happened, including the sex. Operation Midnight Climax was essentially the brainchild of two people: the CIA's main chemist, Sid Gottlieb, and also this guy named George Hunter White, a completely out-of-control character.
Federal Bureau of Narcotics agent George Hunter White was said to be more interested in sampling the CIA-supplied drug stash than conducting scientific research.
After I asked them for help, after I believed I was being filmed, doing acts, after I was drugged, which many would call, and by law, we would call. After this, and a lack of support, I was not myself. I was searching for belonging. I was searching for help. I went to the police and I asked them if they could help me. I did not understand the full picture at that time. All I knew is something was happening to me, and it was not something good. On many occasions, I went to my family and my friends who also did not understand what was going on. They pleaded with me to find evidence, which I went on a mission to try and find. Many a night was spent wandering the streets of London, wandering the streets of Birmingham. You may ask, why would you not just stay away from individuals which wish you harm? And that was what I tried to do by starting a new life in Australia. But what happened was that I was followed there also. What I wish you to understand is with organised crime, it is not one person. It's an aggregate of people. People that you do not know. People that get into your lives through whatever means possible. In Australia, I had many a good memory. Because after I was hooked on drugs, and after I believe what I believe to be, have been filmed on the dark web, and videos of me in compromising positions, and the blackmail that followed me. After that, I came back because I realised that the only way through this was by understanding the full picture myself. This was then followed after I went back to one of these people to conform to their demands. I was told by them, in which are not direct, but are absolutely true, that they were going to attempt, if I said anything else, they were going to attempt to kill me, threaten my family, and they also were trying to frame me, and are. This was followed by many attempts of gaslighting, threats, and I've had enough. So I'm here to appeal to you to share. The information that I gave to the police went directly back to these individuals. I understand that the police are good people. It's full of good people trying to do their job. But there is also a fact that there is a large amount of police corruption. And the only way that these people would have had access to my private interviews with the police is through it being leaked. They also, to my knowledge, had access to my medical records, as they have reiterated things that only I have had conversations with the NHS. I was gaslit into thinking that I had psychosis, when many of the things I said are actually true. I believe this because I was looking for an understanding in which a puzzle I could not put together. My family, my friends, I thank you for being there, even when you didn't understand what was wrong with me. But I am now not safe. By doing this, I am not safe. I try not to put individuals' names in this, and I try not to be as vague as possible, but through fear of retaliation. However, I understand that I am not the only one this is happening to, and that this has happened to. They openly said to me that they will try and frame me.
Footage has emerged of missing rugby player Levi Davis saying he feared for his life days before he disappeared in Spain last year. The 15-minute video was uncovered by a private investigator hired by Davis's family. In it, the former X Factor contestant also claimed he was being blackmailed. Vincent McAviney reports.
Hello. My name is Levi Davis, and my life is in danger.
Levi Davis, in words, in the weeks before he went missing in Barcelona last year. In this newly unearthed Instagram video he posted, then deleted, The rugby player claims he was being blackmailed by criminals who were threatening to kill him and his family.
Swing low, sweet chariot.
Over 15 minutes, Levi claims that after appearing on Celebrity X Factor in 2019, he started a relationship with someone who later drugged him and filmed sexual videos, which were then used to blackmail him. The former Bath rugby star was last seen on CCTV leaving an Irish bar in Barcelona on the 29th of October. He travelled to the Spanish city that day from Ibiza, where he'd been holidaying with friends. Police found his passport near the port. They say his phone, bank and social media accounts haven't been used. Accounts remain unknown. Appearing on Good Morning Britain last month, Levi's mother recounted the struggles the family's having with the investigation.
Where it's been quite difficult is, you know, not sort of having the information come through because, of course, there's the language barrier.
I hope that as my friends, you can share this and ignite it for what it is.
Levi's family have offered a £10,000 reward for any information which might lead to finding him. For now, they hope this video will spark renewed interest in his disappearance. Vincent McAviney, ITV News.